Welcome back to our series about how do we as educators help students take an anti-boring approach to their own learning. And today I have two characteristics that I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in some ways not as excited about these two characteristics that I'm going to share with you today because they are the most schoolish ones that I teach. And there's a part of me that's kind of anti-schooling, right? Even though I am here to help students do better with schooling and to help educators help students do better with schooling. Anyway, I just notice I'm a little less excited, but I want to critique that in myself. It's dumb that I'm less excited about these two characteristics because actually, as I think about it, when I'm working with a student to help them brainstorm why studying isn't working for them and what to do about it instead, these two that I'm going to talk about today are actually what gets my blood flowing like in creative, zingy, zany ways more than any of the other characteristics that I'm talking about in the series. So now I think I'm full of you-know-what, and I should just get into telling you what these characteristics are. Okay, the first one. Anti-boring students and their educators seek out a variety of ways to engage their senses in learning. A variety of ways. Now, when I teach the study cycle to students and educators, here's a glimpse of the study cycle. Remember, you can go get the free lesson all about what this is and how to teach it to students at gretchenwegner.com/secret. That stands for the secrets for how to unlock student learning. That's the study cycle. In this moment, though, when I want to tell you that when I teach students about the study cycle, the question that I always get as a follow-up is, but Gretchen, how do I learn in a variety of ways? Like if I don't understand something and I have to reteach it to myself, what other ways are there for me to reteach the information to myself? And both students and educators seem to be at a creative standstill around how to engage all of their senses, all of their being in their learning process. And it's actually something that I'm pretty good at. You may be able to tell from these videos. I'm a little odd in some lovable ways. I have a sparkly, creative brain that is constantly coming up with new ideas. But here's the thing. You too can learn how to constantly come up with new ideas. All you need is, let me disappear for a second, the study senses. Now, I'm going to be a little tricky right now, and I'm not going to actually teach you about the study senses. To learn this mini lecture that I share with students, you'll need to come in and take my anti-boring approach to powerful studying, or that's the course for students, or my courses for educators. But here's the visual. I fill in these boxes with pictures of different senses, and then we talk about how do you use multiple senses in your learning. Which senses are you used to using, and which ones are you not used to using that you can actually get more practiced at, and then even more fun, how can you combine senses in interesting ways? So I have found the key to helping students take an anti-boring approach to their own learning is actually to teach them some kind of a model like the study senses so that they have the ingredients, the possible ingredients memorized, and then to work with them to combine those ingredients in interesting and surprising ways to help keep their learning anti-boring. I mean, really, that's the way. When you're bored with something like flashcards, as I talked about a few videos ago, you need some spice. You need to spice things up. And the study senses are the answer to spicing things up. So that's one characteristic, the ability to seek out a variety of ways to engage our senses in learning. Now, because we want students to do this, that also means educators, you all need to grow your own skills and abilities in engaging multiple senses and seeking out, I love that active verb, seeking out variety in all learning situations. The second characteristic here that I wanted to talk about, though, is anti-boring students and their educators stay curious about what learning is like for themselves and others. To be an anti-boring learner, to engage all your senses and to constantly troubleshoot what's missing. How else might I be able to learn this in a way that will really work for me? To be able to do this requires that we turn up the volume on our curiosity meter. Because I find that many students, when we're younger, we're naturally curious, but that curiosity gets deadened out of us by the oppressive nature of so many schools. Our curiosity gets bored out of us to some degree. And I also find that many adults who work with students forget how to be curious about what the student's experience of learning is. We jump straight to judgment. You haven't tried hard enough. Or, oh my God, you're not paying attention. Or whatever the judgments are, rather than being curious about what learning is like for us. And I would love to see both students and educators have these curiosity meters that don't just rise this high with curiosity, but that blow the roof off with our curiosity. We get good at asking questions, and here's the rub, sincerely caring about what the answer to that question is. That's surprisingly hard for many of us who work with students. Parents, you too, I bet you're watching these videos as well. How often do you ask a question that you think you know the answer to already? And I don't mean to be judgmental with that face, because I know that part in myself. I still find myself asking questions that I think I know the answer to already. But what's amazing is I can catch myself and I can turn up the volume on my curiosity meter. I can be, oh, I forgot to be curious right now, and actually listen to what the student's experience is. And when I do that, I find amazing things. We're just going to pause while Alexa does her thing. I think she's quiet now. Oh, and I forgot where I left off. So I hope you can see the link here between using a variety of senses in our learning and getting and staying curious. And this brings us to my script for you to try out. You might practice asking students, what senses have you used already in whatever you're learning right now, or whatever you're trying to study? What else could you try that you haven't tried already? How might we be able to play with learning this thing you're trying to learn in a new and different way? Here we are modeling curiosity. I'm actually caring what the answer might be. I might provide a few ideas myself, but we're also practicing a skill that I'm going to be talking about in the next video, which is how to take a meta break with students. I'm not going to tell you what that is because I want you to watch the next video, but this is an example in some ways of a meta break. For now, what I want you to be able to play with is getting sincerely curious about helping students analyze what ways of learning have they tried and what other ways of learning have they not tried yet, and how could they mess all that up and try something even new. Try asking that question to your students. See what silliness comes up. Don't be afraid of silliness. Silliness is a wonderful antidote for learning. I just said the word antidote. So I want to end with a little story because I love the word antidote. And it's got the word anti in it. I'm just thinking all this out loud right now for the first time, actually. So anti-boring is an antidote. And I'm an auntie, and aunties like to dote. Okay, there is actually something very profound embedded in what I just said, but I think I need a little time to work it out. But maybe if you see it, you could contact or comment below and let us know. Or if you don't see it, just like and subscribe. That's as good, if not better, than a comment. And I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you in the next video in the series. Take care, y'all.